What's up, Wrestling-verse family? The WWE locker room is in absolute tears right now following a shocking incident involving the legendary Paul Heyman that has left the entire wrestling world stunned and heartbroken. This is not what anyone expected, and you need to hear every single detail. Stay locked in. Before we get into this emotional rollercoaster, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell because Wrestling-verse CC brings you the most comprehensive wrestling coverage on YouTube. Drop a like if you're feeling the emotions, and comment below with your thoughts on what happened. Let's get right into this incredibly difficult story. Wrestling-verse family, what we witnessed was one of those rare moments in professional wrestling where the lines between character and reality completely blur. When I say the WWE is in tears, I'm not exaggerating. Superstars from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT have been posting emotional messages. Backstage personnel are shaken. And fans around the world are sending an outpouring of love and support for one of the most influential figures in wrestling history. Paul Heyman has been a cornerstone of professional wrestling for over 3 decades. From his groundbreaking work with ECW in the 90s, to managing Brock Lesnar, to becoming the special counsel for Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, Heyman has consistently been at the forefront of wrestling's biggest moments. He's not just a manager or a mouthpiece. He's a storyteller, an advocate, and a creative genius who's helped shape the careers of countless superstars. So when something shocking happens to someone of his stature, it sends shockwaves through the entire industry. Let me take you through exactly what happened, because this story has layers that go beyond what we saw on television. It started during what was supposed to be a routine SmackDown segment. Paul Heyman was scheduled to address the WWE Universe about the Bloodline's future, Roman Reigns' status, and the ongoing power struggles within the family. Standard Heyman excellence. The man knows how to command a microphone and captivate an audience like nobody else. But something was different this time. Those who were paying close attention noticed it immediately. Heyman seemed more emotional than usual. His voice cracked at certain moments. There were pauses where he seemed to be composing himself. The trademark confidence was still there, but underneath it, you could sense something deeper, something raw and genuine. And then it happened. In the middle of his promo, Paul Heyman did something we've never seen him do in his entire career. He broke down. Real tears. Real emotion. Not the scripted storytelling we're used to, but genuine, heartfelt vulnerability from a man who's always been the calm, calculated voice of reason. He talked about his journey in wrestling, the sacrifices he's made, the relationships he's built, and the toll that decades in this business have taken on him personally. He spoke about watching young superstars grow into legends. He reflected on his time with Roman Reigns and how honored he's been to be part of the Bloodline's historic run. And then he dropped a bombshell that left everyone stunned. Paul Heyman revealed that he's been dealing with significant health concerns. While he didn't go into specific medical details out of respect for his privacy, he made it clear that recent events, combined with the physical toll of being in this industry for so long, have forced him to reevaluate his future in WWE. The arena went completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Superstars watching backstage were visibly emotional. And when the camera cut to the crowd, you could see fans with tears streaming down their faces, holding up signs and chanting Heyman's name in support. This wasn't a retirement announcement, but it was close. Heyman emphasized that he's not done yet, that he still has more to give, but he also acknowledged that things need to change moving forward. He needs to prioritize his health, his family, and his well-being, something that's incredibly difficult to do in the demanding world of professional wrestling. The reaction from WWE superstars has been absolutely overwhelming. Social media has been flooded with heartfelt messages from current and former wrestlers, all expressing their love, respect, and gratitude for everything Paul Heyman has done for the business. Roman Reigns, who's been Paul Heyman's most prominent client in recent years, posted an emotional tribute calling Heyman his brother, his mentor, and an irreplaceable part of his journey to becoming the tribal chief. The bond between Roman and Heyman goes beyond storylines. They've built something special together, and you could feel the genuine emotion in Roman's words. Brock Lesnar, who Heyman managed for years and helped become one of the most dominant forces in WWE history, also shared his thoughts. Despite their on-screen separations over the years, Lesnar made it clear that Heyman is family and that his contributions to Lesnar's career can never be overstated. CM Punk, who worked closely with Heyman during his legendary WWE run, posted a lengthy message about how Heyman believed in him when others didn't, how Heyman elevated his promos and storylines, and how grateful he is to have learned from one of the absolute best in the business. Even superstars who never worked directly with Heyman have been sharing their appreciation. Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, Bianca Belair, the list goes on and on. Everyone recognizes that Paul Heyman isn't just a manager or an on-screen character. He's a pillar of the wrestling community, a mentor to countless performers, and someone who's dedicated his entire life to this industry. Backstage personnel, producers, writers, and executives have all echoed similar sentiments. Stories have emerged about Heyman's kindness behind the scenes, his willingness to help young talent find their voice, and his tireless work ethic that's inspired generations of wrestling professionals. Let's talk about Paul Heyman's incredible legacy and what he means to professional wrestling. This is a man who literally revolutionized the business multiple times throughout his career. In the 1990s, Heyman founded ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, which became a cult phenomenon that changed wrestling forever. ECW introduced a grittier, more reality-based style that influenced every major promotion that came after it. Stars like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley, Rey Mysterio, and countless others honed their craft in ECW under Heyman's creative guidance. When ECW closed, Heyman brought his genius to WWE, where he's been an on-screen performer, a writer, a producer, and a creative consultant for over 2 decades. He's been involved in some of the biggest storylines and moments in modern WWE history. As a manager and advocate, Heyman has an unmatched track record. He elevated Brock Lesnar into a legitimate mainstream star. He helped CM Punk reach new heights during the Summer of Punk. And most recently, he's been instrumental in Roman Reigns' transformation into the most dominant WWE champion of the modern era. But beyond the accolades and the accomplishments, what makes Heyman truly special is his ability to connect. Whether he's cutting a promo, working with talent backstage, or doing interviews, Heyman has this rare gift of making people believe. He makes storylines feel important. He makes characters feel real. He makes moments feel bigger than life. That's why this incident has hit the wrestling world so hard. The thought of WWE without Paul Heyman is almost impossible to imagine. He's been such a constant presence, such a reliable source of excellence, that the idea of him stepping back feels like the end of an era. Now, let's address something important: Heyman's health concerns and what this means moving forward. While we don't have specific details, and we absolutely need to respect his privacy, the wrestling community is rallying around him with incredible support. The physical demands of being in WWE are well documented. The travel schedule alone is grueling. Hundreds of days on the road each year, constantly flying from city to city, living out of hotels, dealing with time zones and irregular sleep patterns. Even for people who aren't physically wrestling, it takes a serious toll on the body and mind. Add to that the stress of being in such a high-pressure creative environment, the emotional investment in storylines and characters, and the decades of accumulated wear and tear, and you start to understand why even the toughest people in wrestling eventually reach a breaking point. Paul Heyman has given everything to this business. He's sacrificed time with family, personal relationships, his health, and so much more in service of creating unforgettable wrestling moments. The fact that he's now being forced to confront these realities is heartbreaking, but it's also necessary. The good news is that WWE has made it clear they'll support Heyman in whatever way he needs. Whether that means a reduced schedule, a different role within the company, or time away to focus on recovery, WWE is committed to ensuring that one of their most valuable contributors gets the care and support he deserves. Triple H, WWE's chief content officer, released a statement emphasizing that Heyman will always have a home in WWE and that the company will do everything possible to accommodate his health needs while still benefiting from his creative brilliance. The WWE Universe's response has been equally beautiful. Fans from around the world have been sharing their favorite Paul Heyman moments, expressing gratitude for decades of entertainment, and sending messages of hope and healing. Wrestling fans can be passionate and sometimes divided, but in moments like this, the community comes together in the most inspiring ways. Hashtags supporting Heyman have been trending worldwide. Fan art, tribute videos, and heartfelt messages have flooded social media. And at live events, Crowds have been chanting Heyman's name, showing their appreciation for everything he's contributed to their enjoyment of professional wrestling. So what does the future hold for Paul Heyman and WWE? That's the question everyone is asking, and honestly, there are several possibilities. First, there's the possibility of a reduced schedule. Heyman could step back from weekly television appearances while still being involved in major storylines and premium live events. This would give him time to focus on his health while still contributing his creative genius to WWE's biggest moments. Second, there's the backstage role option. Heyman could transition to a full-time producer or creative consultant position, working behind the scenes to help develop storylines and mentor younger talent without the physical demands of being on camera every week. Third, and this is what many fans are hoping for, Heyman takes the time he needs to fully recover and then returns stronger than ever. Wrestling has a way of pulling people back in, and if anyone can overcome health challenges and come back with renewed passion, it's Paul Heyman. Whatever path he chooses, the wrestling world will support him completely. Because at the end of the day, this industry owes Paul Heyman an enormous debt of gratitude for everything he's given us over the past 30 years. Let's also acknowledge the broader conversation this incident has sparked about health and wellness in professional wrestling. For too long, performers and personalities in this business have been expected to work through injuries, ignore warning signs, and prioritize the show over their personal well-being. In recent years, WWE has made significant strides in addressing these issues. There's more emphasis on mental health support, better medical care, more reasonable schedules, and a genuine concern for the long-term health of everyone involved in the company. Paul Heyman's situation is a reminder that these improvements need to continue. No storyline, no championship run, no moment is worth sacrificing someone's health and future. The fact that Heyman felt comfortable being vulnerable on television, sharing his struggles with the world, shows that WWE is creating an environment where people can prioritize their well-being without fear of being seen as weak or uncommitted. This is progress, and it's something the entire industry should embrace and build upon. As we approach the conclusion of this video, I want to take a moment to reflect on what Paul Heyman represents to all of us. He's more than just a manager or a mouthpiece. He's a reminder that passion, dedication, and creativity can create a legacy that transcends any single match or storyline. Heyman taught us that words are just as powerful as physicality. That the right promo can elevate a superstar from good to legendary. That storytelling is the heart and soul of professional wrestling, and when done right, it creates emotional connections that last a lifetime. He showed young performers that you don't have to be the biggest or the strongest to make an impact. You just have to be authentic, committed, and willing to pour your heart into every single appearance. And he proved to fans around the world that wrestling, at its core, is about moments that make us feel something real. Whether that's excitement, anger, joy, or in this case, genuine emotion and concern for someone we've watched and admired for decades. Wrestling vs. Family, this has been one of the most difficult videos I've had to make. Seeing Paul Heyman break down on television, witnessing the outpouring of love from the wrestling community, and thinking about what WWE would be without his presence has been genuinely emotional for all of us. But here's what I want you to take away from this. Paul Heyman's story isn't over. This isn't an ending. It's a new chapter. Whatever comes next, whether it's a modified role, a temporary absence, or eventually a triumphant return, we'll be here to support him every step of the way. The mark of a true legend isn't just what they accomplish in the ring or on the microphone. It's how they handle adversity, how they inspire others, and how they leave the business better than they found it. By that measure, Paul Heyman is one of the greatest to ever do it. So what do you think? How has Paul Heyman impacted your love of wrestling? What's your favorite Heyman moment? And what message would you want to send to him right now? Drop all your thoughts in the comments below. I know Paul appreciates the incredible support from the wrestling community. If this video meant something to you, please hit that like button and share it with other wrestling fans who need to hear this story. Subscribe to Wrestling vs. CC for more comprehensive coverage of everything happening in the wrestling world. And most importantly, keep Paul Heyman in your thoughts as he navigates this challenging time. Thank you for being part of this community, Wrestling vs. Family. In wrestling, we celebrate the highs together, and we support each other through the lows. This is one of those moments where the wrestling family shows what we're really made of. Stay strong, stay supportive, and remember, the best is yet to come, for Paul Heyman and for all of us who love this incredible business. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace and respect, Wrestlingverse family.